Just bass. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, I almost swore there.
Good morning, Johnny.
Morning, friend.
I am excited about today because we have just entered probably the most foreign rabbit hole I think we've ever
It's
attempted.
exciting, though. Yeah.
It's very
I
exciting.
like the
Yes.
unknown. I like the unknown.
We've heard some other singers beatbox a little bit here and
Mhm.
there, but it never confused me. It was more of a oh yes, that makes sense. They can make those three sounds at the same time and everything else, and it's impressive, certainly.
Yeah.
But Wing just completely blew our minds.
Yeah, my brain broke a little bit. It's still recovering.
So obviously we don't know any of the terms. We don't know anything about beatboxing. For those of you who don't know, Johnny is a professional songwriter, singer, performer.
Mm-hmm.
Your expertise is in music as a whole. My expertise is in the voice, the mechanics of the voice,
Right.
in a more traditional fashion. And I think that's why both of our brains broke listening to Wing doing dopamine, because he just broke all the rules.
Yeah, no, we're coming at it from a very different place, but it's all music, and what he brings to it from a composition arrangement standpoint, I think, is very in line with what I'm about, and then obviously the mechanics
Yes.
of what's happening. I mean, I don't know the inner workings of that, so I'm glad I got you for that. So
Yeah, he's
but
testing
he's
my
amazing.
knowledge for sure,
Yeah.
and I love it. I'm here for the challenge. One of the things that people were saying was that what we listened to last time was fake and or layered, things like that, and apparently he gets a lot of this. So I've got a clip I want to start with. It's him doing dopamine off the mic, so it's no enhancement of any kind, just
Okay.
raw.
Okay.
Let's see what we get here.
Dopamine.
That's like the first time I get
Dopamine.
Oh
So-
God, I could watch that so many times in a row. That's just
Yes.
so yes.
When
So
he's
there you
on
go.
when he's on the mic, when you're in the studio, they can enhance certain frequencies, they can alter pitch to a degree, but the challenge there is when you alter his pitch in terms of vocal frequency, then you risk pitching all the other sounds
Everything else
he's
goes
making
up,
at the
yeah.
same time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course compression and all those things, yes, make it sound better. There is an enhancement there.
But that's the same thing with a regular singer
Yes.
too. It's like the
In
mic is
guitar,
a
in
tool.
piano,
Yes.
everything.
I mean that's just the nature of it. Yeah. But
That
it's
is-
like he's doing everything. He's doing it all.
It's just amazing. Anyway,
God, I wouldn't mind doing 100 versions of that song. Seriously.
I know.
But yes, before we get started, please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you always know what content we are coming out with next, because we're always coming out with something.
Also, please be sure to click on the link below in the description where you can buy a coffee, help support this page, reactions just like this. Even consider becoming a Thronely member, which gives you exclusive access to our Sunday shorts and our Thronely only events, and just really play an integral part of the direction of our channel, which we appreciate. If you are interested in songwriting, you can do one-on-one lessons with Johnny, or singing lessons, not beatboxing lessons,
I
with
was gonna say,
myself.
if you're interested in beatboxing, don't contact
I'm not the
either.
guy. I'm not the guy. I'm not suggesting otherwise.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, I do have some background listening to beatboxers over the years. I have a buddy of mine that's into electronic music. He showed me stuff before, and obviously there's some amazing artists out there that do that. When we heard him, I was like, my God,
Crazy. The only complaints really came in through from our initial reaction was that we stopped at the wrong times, or just maybe just too often. In my defense,
How could we not, though? How could we not? Sorry. I mean, we'll try to be better, but how could we not? It was so.
You have
there's
to
so much
understand.
happening.
This is like, the first time watching someone play guitar, but also, you know, like what's his name, Marcin, or is that how you say his name? Just like he's drumming on the guitar. It's like he's breaking the rules of what the instrument was supposed to be for. That's what Wing did with the voice. So we couldn't process it all. So note taken. We'll do better today. This is Beatpella House, K-Pop Medley. We have 5 different singers, vocalists, beatboxers. Let's go.
Artists. Oh, I don't know if I'm prepared for this.
I know.
Blackpink in your area. Blackpink in your area. When we pull up, you know it's a shutdown. 간판 내리고 문 잠궈 shutdown. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. Keep watching me shut it down. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. 1, 2, 3, let's go. 저 우주 위로 날아갈지 춤추러 가. Hey, let's dance the
That
night
airy
away.
synth.
I know.
Listen to that kick and snare.
Okay, I stopped it.
That kick and snare sound. That's a good place to stop, I think.
I feel like
Okay.
kick and snare.
Yeah.
It's just
I mean, there's nothing too crazy as far as just like doing multiple sounds at once. They're all kind of sticking to their one sound, and they're obviously, you know, they're a group at this point.
excellent at it. Yeah.
But I mean, to replicate a sound like that, an inanimate object like that, and make it sound like it's real is just astounding to me. And then also the polyrhythms, you got the hi-hat. To execute that, you still have to be like perfect. To do it well, you have to be on time, you have to have a good feel, and they're doing that. It's just
Well, I was going to say, you have to be.
they're a drummer. It's just you're not using
Well,
your hands.
percussionist. I was just going to
Yeah.
say that. Because if you have one person, and the advantage of playing drums, you've got, if you're right-handed, right hand on hi-hat, left hand on snare, then left foot on hi-hat pedal, and right foot on kick. And so, but it's the same brains, you know, playing those parts. So they are, it's easier to make them flow together, timing everything in. But when you've got multiple percussionists layering on top of each other and make it feel that tight, the timing to be that accurate, their ability, not just the musicality in themselves, but to listen to each other is just, I mean, that's what like the best of the best barbershop quartets do and things like that. I mean, just it's incredible.
But just because the apparatus is different, the same rules still apply to being a great musician as
Right.
a great drummer, you know, a great conventional drummer. You still have to have those elements there to make it an effective performance.
And if you guys could help us out, a couple questions off the bat, and we'll keep playing here. One is this the Beatpella House? Are all 5 members Beatpella House? Do they rotate different people, or is there a guest here? I'm not sure. And the other thing is, what are their names from left to right? If someone could leave that in the comments, that would be awesome. Just so we can kind of familiar ourselves. Obviously, we know who Wing is in the center. All right, let me back up a little bit. Let's keep going.
Okay. Plucky sound.
Oh,
Come on.
You already know. Hello.
I cook cream soup, tastes cocoa loco. Want me your wife?
even the
but
singing
she
tone is
is
totally different.
Yeah.
I cleaned your room, it's so twinkle twinkle. Want me your wife, but she is.
I mean, that sound.
Supernova.
That bass, are you kidding me? I'm sorry, I almost swore there. That bass. I mean,
What
God.
frequency? Where are we going there? Like, if you're looking at, if you're matching on the piano,
the E flat.
E flat 2, but his folds aren't doing that. That's why it almost feels like it's E flat 1, which, by the way, both of those are off my camera because this is E flat here. We have to go down an octave and then again. But they're producing that, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, primarily with the lips, and some of that's like an inhale versus an exhale. So they're able to just position things, just like we can whistle. You know, you position outward breath to create turbulence with the airflow to create that frequency. They're getting to sound like a slobbering mess, like sound coming in.
Again, the dentist office right now.
For those looking for vocal lessons, be sure to here. Let me just bring Buddy in. So,
yeah, this is a good one for Buddy for sure. Okay,
this is Buddy. He's a little scary at first. Okay, so this is Buddy. So our anatomical naked guy, which he's been dubbed by our
wasn't he in the first? He was in Sounds of the Lambs, wasn't he? The first one.
Yeah, he might have been.
Yeah.
So look, the articulator muscles, the lips, tongue, and jaw. I'm just going to talk about the lip muscles in a moment. So this is the orbicularis oris. This is the primary, the meat of the lips, right? So that has to be tightened in a certain way, but it's all the muscles around. The zygomatic is going up. So all of these. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, if I can not hit the veins, 5, 6, 7, and then going up under the lips there. So you've got 7 to 8 independent muscles attached to the orbicularis oris on one side, because they're creating that vibration here. The reason why they have to create it with their lips and not with the vocal folds is the vocal folds can't vibrate that slow for most people. I mean, you've got your Jeff Castellucci's out there, but these beatboxers are able to do it with a part of their anatomy that wasn't designed for vocal production, and that's what makes it brilliant. And that's why they can make a sound here and at the same time.
Yeah, do you think that's like they're schooled in that, or is it just experimentation and
I think
just
it's
finding the feel of something?
Well, it's like an athletic agenda, like the floor exercise in the Olympics. You know, back in the day, it was like, oh, you did a cartwheel, 5 stars. You know, like it started really simple, and then it evolves over time, and it gets competitive. And then when rules are broken, you go, oh well, how far can we take that? How far can we take that? And all these subconscious programs, the muscle memories created. So the beatboxing when I was a kid was like, you know, Michael Jackson was like, what he could do with his voice obviously was great, producing pitches and having some beatbox on top. I considered that to be the master of beatboxing at the time, right? And maybe he was and maybe he was, you know, at that time. But I think that inspired and people challenged that and just took it to another level. And here we are. We are in the future as far as what this instrument can do.
Future is now.
Anyway, I'm gonna hit play it for longer. Her style deliveries. Oh my God.
I came here to drop some money, dropping on my money.
Her voice is great too.
Yes. diverse too.
Gold teeth sitting on the dash, she a rock star. Make your favorite singer wanna rap, baby la la. Lisa, can you teach me Japanese? I said hi, hi. That's my life, baby. I'm a rock star.
Yeah, I know what you mean about it.
Baby, I ain't seen nothing yet. Got them all going shush, shush, shush,
God.
shush, shush. Yeah, B-A-B-Y-M-O-N. Shush, 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 shush. Yeah,
Wow.
got them all going.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we'll pause there.
Yeah,
That seems
going
reasonable.
okay. Okay, a couple things. Just going back to the musicality aspect. So that that guy that's doing that part.
Yeah,
There's so much nuance in something like that because it's not just you're not just doing a melody. You're replicating an instrument that has a very specific just vibe. You know? It's
timbre
like
and yeah.
yeah, like a stringed instrument is different than a percussive instrument, and there's different slides that go into it. There's different ways that the note releases, and then just sort of the staccato attack of it. It's almost got like a Kyoto type of thing.
Right.
To hear those nuances and then replicate it. So
And-
the ears that these guys have are just amazing.
It's incredible. But at no point am I lacking piano or guitar or obviously drums. They've got the layers in such a way that it is.
No,
It's,
not lacking
they're
it either.
fulfilling. The arrangement is just brilliant in this.
yeah. Okay, we can keep going. I got other.
Yeah,
things.
and just doubling down on her as well. At first, the first song they did had her timbre was a little bit thinner and just kind of fit the mood of the song and everything kind of cut through. And then as she's literally changing styles, also modified how she amplifies things. So her voice got warmer in certain parts, her articulation, timing, her pitch, but the versatility in her tone to go from song to song. It's like bringing in, okay, I'm going to play a Les Paul. Okay, now I'm going to pick up a Strat. Okay, now I'm going to pick up an acoustic guitar. I mean, she's rotating through these different sounds, which is just brilliant in and of itself.
I mean, the thing that's impressing me about her, she could be a star in her own right. Sometimes
That's what
from my experience with EDM, some of the stuff that I hear, the vocalists that they use, it's not necessarily a feature thing. It's a little bit more about the track itself and the beat and everything. You couldn't hear that singer as like a standalone artist. She could be a standalone artist, and I love that he could be, and then that she's in this context as well with all these other, just all the amazement that's happening.
Let me take it from this breakdown here.
This is freaking sick.
This is just surreal. Oh, the guy to the left, the tones there.
I have to remind myself sometimes that we're listening to people making these sounds with their mouths. Sorry, we're stopping again.
No, I'll listen to that again happily.
It's just so realistic. It's and I deal with this stuff in the studio all the time. I listen to these plugins, and when I kind of let my mind wander a little bit and just enjoy it, I forget that people are.
This is the human voice. Yes,
this is with their mouths. It's just nuts.
Oh, their choices.
I mean, the riser.
All right, I do want to pause because that tone, those low notes, where are we? That sounds like more like the the throat singing. So that's not a lip thing as opposed to like those drop bass sounds. So that's where you have the vocal fry, and then you can mess with the harmonics on top of that. You just kind of obviously manipulate the sound. So that is the vocal folds vibrating irregularly, creating almost like a strobe effect, creating the illusion of a lower pitch, and they're tuning their throat to highlight the note that they want. So, which is some of the core things from like the Tuvan throat singing. So just they're implementing all these different techniques into just one musical adventure, just brilliantly. It's control. That's Wing doing that? Yeah. Totally different snare hits.
Totally. You know what I mean. Baby, you ain't know what is in my pocket. 나사 빠진 것처럼 미쳐 maniac, 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 maniac. Frankenstein처럼 걸어 maniac, 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 maniac. 나사 빠진 것처럼 미쳐 maniac, 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 maniac. Frankenstein처럼 걸어 maniac, maniac,
That
maniac.
snare sound. I know. There's multiple elements to make that sound.
Maniac, maniac. Frankenstein처럼 걸어 maniac, 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 maniac. 나사 빠진 것처럼 미쳐 maniac.
And then the tempos rising incrementally.
Together.
더 높이 가줄게. 내가 바랬던 세계 제일 위에. 떨어져도 돼. Anti-fragile, anti-fragile. 난 지금 on my way. 같아버려줘 나의 fairy tale. Now you know my name.
This is too much.
Anti-fragile, anti-fragile. Fragile, fragile. Fragile. Fragile, fragile. Anti-fragile, anti-fragile. Fragile, fragile. Fragile. Fragile, fragile. Anti-fragile, anti-fragile.
Love me like this, love me like that, love me like.
I find myself like this, as if I can see into the throats. Oh, that's what they're doing there.
I think look closer, I think.
Yeah, I think just a little bit more.
I'm okay. You know, this is a K-pop medley, but they're rearranging these songs, and just I love what they're doing with it. There's such the arrangements are so catchy, and just the way they're flowing in from one song to the other. Man, they're catching me just from a song standpoint as well. And I just think she's great. Like
We could do a whole episode just
I know
just on her.
But then also, like, there's multiple people that are, you know, like a couple of the guys, they're straying away from doing the beatboxing part, and they're rapping, and they're great rappers. Man, I'm just such a fan.
I'm curious about the process. You guys can let us know.
Yeah.
How do they decide who does what? Like, we've reacted to other groups before, right? Whether they're a boy band or an a cappella group, whatever. That's part of the challenge, or the magic really, is knowing who should take which part, when they can all do a lot of the same things, but then they also have I'm sure their own expertise sounds.
Sure.
So that process must be really interesting too, because they're constantly challenging themselves as to what their instrument can create. They have to be, otherwise they wouldn't be this good. So their curiosity and experimentation is just next level.
Love me like this, love me like that, love me like this, love me like that, love me like this, love me like that, love me like this, and I love you right back. Love me like this, love me like that, love me
Got
like
even a
this,
metallic
love me
sound
like
in one of the
that,
percussive.
Love me like this, love me like that, love me like this, and I love you right.
Oh, that was cool.
Billie Jean.
Smooth
I know.
like butter, like a criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble, breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah, I owe it all to my mother. Hot like summer, yeah, I'm making you sweat like that.
Break it down. Dum, dum, dum. I love it though I'm watching the nun.
Baby,
I love it though I'm watching the chum. Dum, dum, dum. I love it though I'm watching the nun. Dum, dum, dum. I love it though I'm watching the chum.
Even their hand claps. I mean, they could just do this, but no. They're going to do it somewhere in here.
Man, I feel so alive right now. That was just incredible. Incredible in such a different way than just the Wing video was. Because obviously that was, I mean...
We entered another world.
Yeah, and the fact that he was doing multiple sounds at once, I mean, that is a skill set that is still, I mean, I still am wrapping my head around it. You know, like I said before, and I want to clarify this, when I say it's what, you know, at first I was like, well, it's not as crazy. It's crazy. It's just what I was referring to is, you know, people are just they're doing one sound, but that's a different skill set too, to be able to, as a group,
it is
listen to each other and make sure everything is together and super tight, and you're moving as one unit. And it's a different skill set than doing multiple sounds, being a juggler by yourself. Equally as impressive in totally different way.
9 times out of 10, the backup vocalists for Whitney, Michael, Celine, like all the, you know, notedly fantastic singers, right? Their backup vocalists are often more skilled than the lead vocalist. It doesn't mean they have the charisma, maybe the tone, the storytelling artistry, that, you know, that's something different too. But they have to adapt in real time to what's happening in front of them in a different key with a modified supported sound versus a lead sound. I mean, that requires completely different skill sets, and that's essentially what they're doing here.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my God.
Like I said, mind-blowing, but also just mind-blowing in the sense of how, then also mind-blowing in the sense of I love this and I want to listen to more of it.
Yes. All right. Continue to lead us, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
I'm amped up.
Yeah, we're excited to learn. We are excited to learn from you. Hopefully we're bringing something new to the table for you. I don't know. It's foreign to us, but it's so much fun. Yeah. So,
well, regardless, we're enjoying it. So
yes, thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
See you.